Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft All the Mods 8. Today we're going to be looking again at some more of the Productive Bees mod, specifically how to make and use an advanced beehive, an expansion box, and the different upgrades that are available to be used in that upgraded hive. Now, if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like. But most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that way you can see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. All right. So there are a couple different things we're going to make today. The first is going to be an advanced beehive. Now, an advanced beehive is going to be 2 honeycomb, a regular beehive, a campfire, a shears of any kind, and then 4 wooden planks. Now, what type of wood you use for those planks will determine what type of advanced beehive you're making. So I'm making an oak one here. But if we look in Productive Bees, you'll see that there's oak, spruce, birch, jungle, and so on. And neither one of those has a pro or con other than just the color and type of wood. You can use whichever one you like. Next, we're going to make an expansion box, which is going to be 8 wooden planks surrounding 1 honeycomb, and again, the same thing with the wooden planks, depending on whether you use oak or birch or whatever, is going to depend on what color or type of expansion box you make. Next, we're going to make an upgrade base. Now, that is going to be 1 honeycomb, 4 sticks, 3 emerald, and 1 diamond. Now, you have to make an upgrade base for each of the different type of upgrades for this mod. And then the one we're going to do as an example today is the baby upgrade. For this one, you're going to start with 1 upgrade base, 4 honeycomb block, and 4 flowers of any type. Now, a honeycomb block is just going to be 4 honeycombs together in a square pattern in your crafting menu if you're not sure how to make a honeycomb block. Okay? All right, so these are the 4 things we're going to look at today. Now, why do we want to have these to begin with? Well, if you got started, you're kind of going in order, you already have a beehive. And a beehive is a place for your bees to go in and make honey so that you can get honey in a bottle or you can get honeycomb. But using shears or using bottles manually to get the honey and honeycomb out of this can be a boring and time-consuming process. So there are ways to make that a little bit easier so that way you don't have to farm them manually as often and can begin the process of automation. So let's start by grabbing our advanced beehive and our oak expansion box. We got an oak of each one, and that's the type of wood I use. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and set the advanced beehive at the bottom. I'm then going to set the expansion box on top of it. Okay? Now this together does a couple of different things. So with the advanced beehive, we're just going to put one of those down real quick so you can look inside. You can see that now I can right-click on this. So instead of having to shear or use a bottle manually, honeycomb is just going to build up in these spots into 9 stacks of 64. If I put bottles, empty bottles in this slot here, which will hold a stack of 64, it will also, as honey fills up, give me full bottles of honey in stacks of 16. So now I don't have to come back as often and unload this, and I don't have to do it manually with shears and such, which is great. Now, by adding an expansion box, I've added 2 more slots. So instead of the hive being able to hold only 3 bees, now it can hold 5. Okay? So that's a big difference. That's more production going on inside of this 1 oak beehive. Again, I can put glass bottles up here, so as they produce honey, it'll fill the bottles up automatically. And if the honeycomb itself will just fill up in here as well. Now, once this fills, it will stop production until you clean those out. Now, up here in the upper right-hand corner here, you can see there are 4 empty slots for upgrades. So let's take a look at an upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and grab one. Let's see. Again, we grabbed the baby upgrade here. Now, just as a minor shout out, you're going to see this one bee has a little purple square on him. That's still just a regular bee. One fun thing about All the Mods 8 is sometimes the bees will pop out in different color combinations, although they're just regular normal bees. Okay? So let's go ahead and hop in here. So I could take this mod, or this upgrade, and place it in any one of these slots. I can have 4 of the same upgrade or 4 different ones. And pretty much all of the upgrades will work in the vast majority of these different hives. Now, a baby upgrade specifically increases the chance, or gives me a 5% chance, for a new baby bee to spawn from the hive anytime honey is delivered. So anytime honey is delivered, there's a 5% chance that an additional bee will spawn here, which will increase the amount of bees that I have. So if I had a whole bunch of hives set up here in a row, right? Say we just set up a whole bunch of beehives and a whole bunch of expansion boxes, and I don't have all those bees. Now, having this in here means over time, more and more bees will spawn and start filling up these other hives. Now, if you have more bees than you have hives, they'll just float around out here all the time. And there's different things you're going to want to use them for anyway. So having a lot of bees is a good thing. So the baby is a pretty easy one to make, and it is pretty good to get for early games, so you don't have to go out there and keep looking for bees yourself. Now, granted, you can just give flowers to 2 bees, and that will breed you another baby bee. This is just a way of doing it without you having to manually do that process. It's going to happen automatically. But to look at the different types of upgrades that are available, there are productivity upgrades, which increases the production output of bees in this hive by 140%. Multiple upgrades can be installed for greater increase. So if I put 4 of those in, I'm looking at a 520% increased production from that hive. That's phenomenal. There's also speed upgrades, which decreases the time spent in the hive. The bees go in and out faster, which enables it to produce more honey and more honeycomb as well. It can also be used in several of the different machines for this mod to speed up them. Then there was the baby one we already made. There's not baby, which when installed in a catcher, which is another item, another block in this mod, will only catch adult bees. Upgrade block changed the product output to blocks instead of chips. Some of the bees, the specialty bees, don't make regular honeycomb. They make little tiny chips that you have to put together to make a honeycomb. And to be honest, they take up a lot of space, and it's annoying. So having one of these will eliminate that and let them make full honeycomb. There's anti-teleportation, which will keep bees that teleport from teleporting away. There's the range upgrade, which gives the machine more breathing space by increasing the operation area. So that is a little specialty one we'll look at a little bit future in the game. Upgrade filter. This allows you to filter what bees can go in and out of the honey of the hive that you have. So if you have a specific type of bee you want to go in there and you don't want others in, you can censor those. Pokey gene sampler means that any bees that go in there, there's the chance that it will sample its gene and make DNA that you can use to breed other type of bees. That's a much more advanced process that we're going to be looking at in a separate tutorial. And then there's the simulator, which means bees will no longer physically exit the hive. So instead of going out to the flower block, like, you know, they come out and then they go sniff a flower, get them little dots on their butt, then they come back in here and get inside and pollinate. That eliminates that need. They no longer have to go in and out and in and out. So they're just going to stay in there all the time and continue producing. So some of these have more extravagant resources made, so you're going to have to go a little bit further before you're able to make them. But most of these are pretty easy to do. So the upgrades are a great bonus. Highly recommend getting them in there when you can. So this is kind of what I was waiting for. As we look here now, you can see in this first beehive, we have 5 honeycomb that's already produced. I don't have to shear it. I can just take it out. And then I've got 3 of my 5 dots here. When this is fully filled up, a glass bottle will then turn into a bottle of honey. An empty glass bottle will turn into a bottle of honey over here as well, and I can take that out in the same way. So using advanced beehives and expansion box allows you to get more productivity out of your bees, allows you to build up resources in much larger amounts, so you don't have to manually unload them as often. And most importantly, it eliminates the need for you to shear or use bottles on the original hives to get it out. It automatically is going to feed in there for you. So you're going to want to move to the advanced hives and expansion box as soon as you possibly can. They are definitely going to make your life drastically easier, and that's the next step to being able to start automating some of these bee processes. Alrighty? All right. Well, that is going to do us for today. Again, these bee mods are phenomenal. Productive Bees is. It's a great way to get resources in your playthrough of all the Mods 8 and many other mod packs that it's included in. It's not hard to get started, and the productivity is phenomenal. The turnaround of resources is high, so I do recommend when you're doing your playthrough to get into the bees as soon as you can. You're going to find that it's going to eliminate a lot of your time having to farm very basic, normal, kind of boring resources. It'll be a great benefit you while you play. So that'll do us here. Now, if you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, be sure to put those down in the comments, and I will do my best to get back with you as quickly as I can, as well as any recommendations or suggestions you may have for other tutorials you'd like to see in All the Mods 8. I'm always looking for new ideas. You can also go to my website, onlydraven.com. While you're there, on the bottom of the homepage is a place that you can submit questions, feedback, or recommendations via email. You'll also find links to all my socials. You'll find my streaming schedule and other things on there. Great resource. Highly recommend checking out the website. But that is going to do me for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.